We got to play. Yeah, it was fun. I think everybody was really looking forward to it. Obviously, we got a long ways to go, but it's really hard, especially as a defensive front, to really improve if you don't have pads. So today was our first chance to get better.
Was there a particular focal point for your group today that you were emphasizing more than
Well, we're talking about developing a standard, and that means the ability to be mentally tough and play hard, to compete on every down, to be a smart player, FBI, know the down and distance. So if you notice in practice, we got various down and distances. We're talking to them about that. So it's an all-comprehensive approach. But I think the mental toughness, physicalness, using our hands, that's the key emphasis.
Do you walk out here without seeing the field and feel like you played pretty physical today, okay physically today? Or
okay. We're okay. We're going to get a lot better.
Steve, you've got a handful of guys that have seniors that have been around in the program. Is that an advantage for you coming in?
It's a big advantage. You take Marlon and some of the guys that have been around, Dan Hood, even though I'm like their fourth D-line coach in 4 years, they're really trying to buy in and they're really trying to give us leadership. And we're talking about outward focus in our group, which means when times get tough, don't think about yourself, think about what we call the warrior to our right and left. Encourage them, and doing so you really help yourself and it helps them.
How much are you having to unteach from last year and then reteach going down to now 4 down linemen?
Well, we don't really unteach anything. We're just putting in our system, and you see traits of the past, and we just stay positive. We're talking about doing it the Butch Jones, doing it the Vol way, and that's what we're really emphasizing every drill.
What do you think about your defensive ends?
I'm sorry?
What do you think about your defensive ends?
I've been encouraged. I think, we have numbers. We've got some older guys and some younger guys. I think going to the 4-3, I'm not sure they quite know the expectations that we expect them to control the edge of the defense and apply pressure to the quarterback. I was really disappointed in that today, but it's a learning process.
Coach, a couple of the guys have said that you're a teacher, you're not just a yeller and a screamer. You consider yourself, a lot of defensive line coaches may be that way. Do you consider yourself a pretty intense coach, or?
I try to. I think it's my style is to be intense when I want the message to get through. Other than that, I'm going to be a teacher, and I think that's the way young people learn, is that you're consistent, you're confident, you're getting your message across. But if you need to emphasize it, you can get excited.
Where does Dan McCullers fit in the 4-3 right now?
Right now he's playing our 3 technique, which puts him on the outside shade of a guard, and so I think that's a good spot for him. Obviously a big body that can control the B gap, which is when you play a 4-3, he's right in the middle of the defense, so that's a really key spot for us.
Have you ever coached a guy that big before?
No, that's the biggest man. Every time I see him, every day, I tell myself, wow, he's big.
Is that the biggest change, is that you're not as much talking about controlling gaps, plugging holes? Is that the biggest change for these guys?
Well, no, I wouldn't. We are talking about controlling gaps and everything, but we're talking about being playmakers. So we're talking about, I'm going to control my gap, but if the ball goes in the next gap, I'm going to be able to help that guy. And so we're not just eating up space. We're going to make plays. I think that's the biggest difference.
A lot of people might assume that McCullers wouldn't be at the 3 technique. And I guess in your system, why does he fit best there?
Well, the 3 technique is, like I said, when you go 4-3, they have a 3-man surface a lot of time, tight end, tackle, guard. He's in the middle of that 3-man surface. One back power, counter, all those kind of things are coming to the 3 technique has to be able to hold a point. If the 3 technique gets washed, then the C gap gets huge, and then we have no chances of defense. So it's just a critical spot. If you go back to my last program, the best player was our 3 technique.
He's come a long way as far as conditioning since he got here, but does he still have way to go to be like an every down type player?
Definitely, and he knows it. I'm not talking about him. He understands that. He's got a long ways to go. We're taking a lot of pride. He's lost a lot of weight. I think he may be down 20 pounds right now, and we've got goals for him to get down farther. So he understands that for him to be truly a great player and be successful, he has to continue down that path.
Moving forward, this was only the first day in pads. What do you guys expect, and what do you expect from your unit after the first scrimmage, even though it's going to be pretty mild on Saturday?
Well, I think what you're looking for as a unit is you're talking about communications, and playing together, defensive chemistry, you know, we talk about on the defense, one person doesn't do their job. Like today, it's 3rd and 12. One person's not where he's supposed to be. It's a first down. So we talk about accountability. So as a unit, that's what we're preaching: accountability, communications, chemistry, getting together as a unit.
And then I know he's not practicing